Right, calling this meeting to order. The board secretary will now call the roll.
Chair Sutton, Vice Chair Mejia,
Here.
Secretary Treasurer Nyorve,
Here.
Director Angeles,
Present.
Director Kemp,
Here.
Director Rawlings,
Present.
Director Thrashentuk. Here. Chair Sutton has been excused. We have a quorum.
Great, thank you. Now Jen Flores will present the 2024 Employees of the Month.
Good afternoon, Vice Chair Mejia, members of the board, and Mr. McDonald, and all those who are assembled here today. I am Jen Flores, Board Secretary. In support of LBT's strategic priority of fostering employee engagement, it is my pleasure to acknowledge the Employees of the Month for June 2024. Bus operator Jesus Zavala has been employed with LBT for 3 years, and this is his first Employee of the Month nomination. Operator Zavala is dedicated to providing a safe and reliable experience to customers. He notably maintains an impressive level of service by leaving our yards and arriving at bus stops on time. In his short time with LBT, he has also shown himself to be a great role model by consistently displaying a positive and courteous attitude and always being ready to work with a smile. Mechanic Humberto Palma has been with LBT for a year, and this is his first Employee of the Month nomination. From his first day, he demonstrated a great attitude, enthusiasm, and a strong work ethic. Mechanic Palma is always willing to help and eager to learn new things. His dedication and positivity ensure he consistently meets deadlines. Now serving as the secondary lead person on the graveyard shift at LBT2, he showcases his proactive nature. And we also have Human Resources Generalist Maritza Lubiano, who has been with LBT for 2 years, and this is her first Employee of the Month nomination. She began her career at LBT in 2022 as an administrative assistant in the Organizational Development and Administration Department and was promoted to Human Resources Generalist in December 2023. Maritza is dedicated, disciplined, and a tenacious team player who keeps the department cohesive during challenging times. She has also taken on significant responsibilities in the absence of the Labor Relations Officer, leading LBT's grievance response process with timeliness and thoroughness, ensuring the department remains on track despite vacancies. It is now my pleasure to present these valuable members of the Long Beach Transit team.
Hello, my name is Jesus Zavala. I'm a bus operator for LBT. I've been with the company for 3 years now. My favorite part about working at LBT is driving the bus, and I also like to help customers out. I like answering questions and helping them where they need to go. I feel very grateful, very happy. Very nice to get recognized for your hard work working here, and it's a good feeling.
My name is Humberto Palma. I've worked at Long Beach Transit for about a year. I'm a mechanic here. My favorite part of working here are the people that I met and the people that I'm working with. I actually have a couple of close friends that I actually worked with before and actually work here as well. So we've been working here for a while together now. Being Employee of the Month, it feels pretty good. It's good to know that the people that I work with, from the mechanics and the supervisors, see the people that work hard and appreciate the work that we put in.
My name is Maritza Lubiano. I am a HR generalist, and I've been employed with Long Beach Transit for 2 years. My favorite part about working in human resources at LBT is being able to collaborate with our different departments while making a direct and indirect impact with our front-facing employees who help aid moving the community to and from places. I was really surprised to be nominated and selected to be Employee of the Month. I'm very grateful to be working with an amazing team and for leadership to recognize my hard work.
Thank you to all the employees of the month for being dedicated to connecting communities, moving people, making everyday life better. We appreciate all our essential workers, especially our own. Thank you.
Great. Are there any public comment? Right. So now we'll go to public comment. At this time, I invite members of the public who want to address the board at any matter that does not appear on the agenda and is within the board's jurisdiction. If you have not already done so, I ask that you submit a speaker card to the board secretary. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. Agenda item 14 will provide additional opportunities for public comment. Who want to address the board on any matter that does not appear on the agenda jurisdiction. The board is here to receive comments only, and there will be no exchange of dialogue with the comments. There is no public comment at this time. Okay, perfect. Now, Ken McDonald will present the
Madam Chair,
president. Yes.
may I be recognized?
Oh, yes.
Good afternoon. I'd like to make a motion to amend today's agenda and specifically take item number 15 as closed session and move it to after item number 4, public comment. That's my
Second.
Right. There's a
Vote yes.
did we take roll call?
Chair Sutton? Vice Chair Mejia?
Aye.
Secretary Treasurer Anyarbe? Director Angeles? Director Kemp?
Aye.
Director Rawlings?
Aye.
Director Thashington?
Aye.
Chair Sutton has been excused.
Great. So now we will be moving into closed session. All right, the board now reconvenes from closed session. Will the general counsel provide the closed session report on agenda item 15?
Thank you, Madam Chair. The board and the CEO and council met in closed session on listed agenda items. No action was taken. Direction. Lose my closed session.
Great, thank you. And we'll be going to Ken McDonald will present the president and CEO report.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Good afternoon. I am Kenneth McDonald, President and CEO of Long Beach Transit. And I'd like to welcome all board members and all who assembled here today. My monthly agency report highlights some of the accomplishments and ongoing activities centered around our strategic priorities. Our strategic priorities are improve safety and service quality, exercise financial accountability, foster employee engagement, enhance customer experience, and promote community and industry focus. This week, LBT hosted, we're still in closed session. Now that we're back from closed session, LBT hosted the first ever TransDash Performance Summit. The summit attendees represented 8 transit agencies from across the US. The summit covered some of the following topics: building a culture of performance and ownership, industry best practices for improving performance, alignment on success metrics, and strategies for communicating transit value. LBT owned transit analyst, where is Decker? He left. Okay. Mickey Decker accepted an award on LBT's behalf for the highest service effectiveness of the 12 groups involved in TransDash. This award was presented to the agency that has the best service effectiveness rating among the participating transit agencies. LBT's rating as 2.7, while the national average is 1.8. This means that on average, a route that is 10 miles long will serve 27 customers per run on LBT. That's a good thing. In May and June, human resources staff coordinated 3 biometric screening events for employees. The goal of these events was to offer personal health insights, such as revealing vital health data, blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar, and aiding in understanding health and finding ways to improve one's. These screenings can also offer early detection benefits, as regular biometric screening can help detect potential health issues early and allowing for time and intervention for better health outcomes. These events also include an optional 10-minute chair massage. In the agency's effort to promote community and industry focus and to foster employee engagement, staff has participated in various community events this month. To highlight a couple of events listed on this slide, LBT staff recently supported the LBGTQ Center Senior Group field trip to the Colorado Lagoon. The bus trip served as a follow-up to last month's presentation at the center that gave the same group an LBT 101 presentation. Also, community relations staff partnered with service planning staff to engage students at the McBride High School on service to the campus. Service planning explained what goes into the LBT service changes, how bus schedules are updated, and gave background on how to start a career in service planning. The team also answered questions from students and talked about the many different career paths available at LBT. And as I end, I would like to call on Mike Gold to give us an overview on a wayfinding update cassette inserts that we are undertaking. It's just an information at this time as we collect customer information. Mike Gold.
There we go. And I'm usually pretty loud anyway, but thank you so much. Good afternoon, Chair Mejia, members of the board, CEO McDonald, and others who are present. My name is Mike Gold, and I'm the Executive Director and Vice President of Customer Relations and Communication. And I'm here to discuss a pilot project updating LBT's customer-facing cassette inserts at bus stops. So as background, there are over 2,000 bus stops in LBT system, and each stop has a cassette insert that provides information about the routes that serve that stop. At stops that have at bus stops where multiple routes serve the stop, there are multiple cassettes and multiple inserts. And what we've done up until now is those cassette inserts are replaced with every single service change. On this example, and I'll actually can see these closer, but here's an example of a previous cassette insert. Next slide. So the current insert looks like this, and it presents route and schedule information. And customers have given feedback to us in the past that sometimes it can be complex. The map, as you can see, is pretty small, so it's difficult to navigate around. And we've been using these for over 10 years. So we've heard for over the years that these have been a challenge to our customers. So we've decided to run a pilot. So in response to our customer feedback and to hopefully improve that customer experience, last year, the CRC team began working with a wayfinding consultant to identify what opportunities we have to improve customer wayfinding based on industry best practices. So working internally with our staff, working with this consultant, we developed a new cassette insert design, and we decided to launch a pilot of these prototypes. So what this pilot entails is the new design has been placed at 325 stops, and that occurred with the service change that we just experienced on June 16th, 2024. These 325 stops were chosen based not only on ridership, those that have higher ridership, but also across the service area to ensure that we had geographic diversity. They're located on routes 22, 61, 91, the 40s, 141, 173, and 192. So really, it covers all corners of Long Beach Transit service area. Some of the highlights of these new cassettes, right? And this is what they look like in addition to what you have on the screen, is that the main focus of these now is the map. And the really kind of cool thing about these is that these cassette inserts are now specific to each stop. They're individual to each stop, and they're from the customer's point of view. As opposed to seeing a map that was just a general map, this is now the direction that the customer is facing, so they know where they are and they know where the bus takes them. The map shows you where customers can go from here, so which different routes you can take from that. And so this example, it shows you it'll take you to the Cerritos Town Center, and then we've also color coded the routes. At the bottom of the cassette insert, we list all of the routes that serve there, and we also show the corridors and the destinations, so customers know exactly where they're going to go. We present information about our text for next service, which shows arrival times. We provide this in both English and Spanish. And then there's the how to contact us at the bottom here, which is presented in 4 languages: English, Spanish, Tagalog, and Khmer. The new cassette inserts, and I could pass them up there if you'd like to see them, are 100% recyclable. These are now set up so they will only be updated if there's changes to the route. So we're not going to have to be doing constant updates. And there's a QR code here where the customer can scan that and go to the Long Beach Transit website. And as a reminder, when they go to our website, they can see information in English, Spanish, Khmer, or Tagalog. So before I get to kind of the outreach side, what's important to know is, so this, the 1, replaces 3. We used to put 3 inserts where multiple routes would serve. So the goal is making it easier so a customer can know, hey, these are the buses that reach us and how I can get to them. As I mentioned, this is a pilot project. And this is going to run through about the end of August. And we're gathering feedback from our customers. So if you go to a stop where we have these new inserts, you'll also see a sign that looks exactly like this. We present this sign in English and Spanish. And we're asking our customers to either call or email us and let us know what they think about this. And then based on that result, we're going to make the determination about what we do with this pilot project over the remaining 2,000 bus stops. As you can imagine, it's a project that if we do decide to update them all, it will be done incrementally. So here's a couple photos where you can see what they look like on the 40s. You see the new cassette and you see the sign here asking for customer feedback. So thank you so much.
This is my CEO report. If there are any questions from this point, we wanted to just make sure that the board was aware that this was going on. So, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. I'm so happy that they're in 2 languages, correct? And once they call or they tap in, they have access to 2 additional languages. Good. I also like that they're recyclable. And I haven't interacted with one yet, but I look forward to. But just based on your presentation, the cassette does look a lot easier to read. It's more straightforward. I remember being in front of a cassette and not really understanding how to read it and why there are more than one. So I'm glad that it seems like you simplified it. Again, I can only go by what you're saying. It's different as a user when you interface with it. So I'd be happy to let you know my personal experience when that happens. And at the end of August, once the survey is completed or you get the feedback, will you report back to us?
I don't, if they sent end of August, but right after when we get the information and we take the next step,
Yeah,
come back on what the next step.
I understand. I know it won't
Yeah.
literally be the next day, but thank you. I look forward to seeing one the next time I ride the bus. Thank you.
And so sorry, we need to go to public comment. There's no public comment.
Oh, that's-
Oh, you still haven't finished.
those-
Just kidding.
Yes.
I knew you were finished. All right. Are there any public comments? No. All right. Any additional comments, board?
Thank you, Mike. I second changes. This looks fantastic. Obviously my anecdotal approval is not enough to push it everywhere, but it's looking great. And anytime we can make it at a glance immediately understandable for people, that's extremely hard to do. But if we can get that right, that adds a whole lot of value. So that's fantastic. I'm glad we're thinking about even little things like this because they make a big impact.
I have a couple of quick additional. Mike, if it all works out, will this get bigger, or is this the proposed size? Okay, and okay, and is this reflective at night? Because just by seeing it here, it looks like there's some. So if there's no light at one of the stations, I mean, at one of the stops, it's easy to read still? Okay. Thank you.
Great, thank you. And it was great to actually touch it. So I got a little bit distracted there. And I think the fact that it's sustainable is a huge win. So just want to point that out. And it looks more durable in that it feels like it's gonna last longer. So very excited about that. So thank you, Michael, for all your hard work. And then, oh, that's right. Now we will move to consent calendar. All matters included on the consent calendar are considered routine by the LBT Board of Directors and will be enhanced by one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless a member of the Board of Directors or the public request, in which event the matter shall be removed from the consent calendar and considered as a separate item. Do I hear a motion to approve the consent calendar?
So move.
Second.
All right. Now we'll do a roll call.
Chair Sutton, Vice Chair Mejia,
Aye.
Secretary Treasurer Yorve,
Aye.
Director Angeles,
Aye.
Director Kemp, Director Rawlings,
Aye.
Director Thrash and Took. Directors Sutton, Kemp, and Thrash and Took have been excused.
Great, the motion carries. The consent calendar is approved. Now moving to agenda item 10, monthly financial report presented by Lisa Patton.
Good afternoon, Chair Mejia, Vice Chair Mejia, members of the board, Mr. McDonald. My name is Lisa Patton, and I'm the Executive Director and Vice President of Finance and Budget. I'm before you today to present the monthly financial report for the period of July 1, 2023 through May 31st, 2024. If we take a look at the first page of our report, the statement of revenue and expenses, we're going to highlight the operating revenue section, which is the funds that LBT directly generates. Looking at passenger fares, we can see that the trend compares favorably with, we're above where we were last year in the month of May and also year to date. During the month of May, we also had special event revenue for the Galaxy Express. And then under interest and miscellaneous, we know that we're in a favorable interest rate environment and also receive fuel tax credits that were included under the Inflation Reduction Act. So overall, total operating revenue is at 120% of budget for the month and 120% year to date. Under subsidy revenue, we can see that the state, county, and local are on track. We do see a decrease in the federal, and that just reflects the timing of the drawdowns and the timing of the reimbursement from the FCA. So overall total revenue is at 96% of budget. When we drop down to operating expenses, we can see we're running at 98% of budget for the month, 97% year to date. And if we go to the next page, we can see the details on the expenses. Under labor is people in the people business. That's our largest area of investment. And so maintenance is above budget for the month and this year. And that reflects an increase in overtime expenses that are running higher than the amount budgeted. Under services, under contract maintenance, we see an increase this month, and that reflects the good work that our infrastructure team is doing to brighten up the environments for the LBT for the operators at LBT2 and down at the TVIC, and also the maintenance flooring. Under security, you'll see that reflects invoices from Long Beach PD and Allied Universal for the transit capacity. If we go to the next page of our report, we can see fleet parts and supplies. That's an area that's been running above budget this year. And the month of May included ignition coils and induction motors. Under other material and supplies, you'll see that increase for the month that's within budget year to date. That reflects replacing the furniture in the operator lounges. Under miscellaneous expenses, under safety, you'll see the campaign there for the 5 keys to safety, and they're within budget year to date. So overall expenses are at 98% for the month, 97% year to date. If we go to the last page, the balance sheet, we can see under assets and cash investments is relatively flat. Under receivables, you do see an increase there on the state receivable from 3.2 million to 6 million. I have been informed by our grants team that we have received that outstanding receivable from the state. Under the liabilities section, the trade payables, what's reflected there largely is delayed security invoicing from Long Beach PD and Allied Universal Security. So you'll see the role there. That completes my report. I'm happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Hi, Lisa, I had 2 questions, but you answered them for me in your opening statement. But I do have a
I'm before you today to request the board. I think this is the third person that is presenting this. So hope 3 times is the charm. To adopt the 2024 Public Transportation Agency Safety Plan, known as the PTAS, with newly set safety targets as required by the Federal Transit Administration, also known as FTA. And these are all under the Urbanized Area Formula Grants. The FDA requires agencies that are recipients of federal funding through the Moving Ahead for Progress in the 21st Century Act to review and provide updates for safety targets and recertify the existing PTAS. As a transit agency receiving FDA funding, Long Beach Transit, refers to as LBT, is required to review the PTAS plan and update safety targets yearly in accordance with 49 Code CFR 673 or Part 673. As an operator of public transportation that receives funding from the FDA, LBT is required to maintain an agency safety plan that includes the processes and procedures to implement the safety management system as authorized by the Moving Ahead for Progress of the 21st Century Act, which was established under 49 US Code 5329. A lot of numbers there. The safety committee members, who meet quarterly and are comprised of equal union and management representatives, approved the proposed plan that is before the board today. The PTAS must be signed by the CEO and approved by the LBT Board of Directors annually. This is a guidance from the FDA. The PTAS must be made available upon request to the FDA, other federal entities, or state oversight institution, which means that we are approving this. We don't have to send it to the FDA, but they can come and request it anytime. So we have to have it on file, approved by the board and signed by the CEO. The PTAS is regulated by the Department of Transportation or DOT, and the board must most recently approved and adopted the 2023 LBT PTAS last year to comply with the final rule set by FDA. The PTAS is a living document that will evolve through successive updates and be expanded as the need and recorded as necessary. The slide before you highlights the revision of the LBT FY 2024 PTAS. The National Transit Database, or NTD, reportable numbers are added to calculate the 2024 safety performance targets, referred to as the SPTs in the plan. The safety performance target are updated from a 5-year rolling average and reduced to a 3-year rolling average. Security data was added to the SPT for assault on transit workers, and revision of the safety committee objective are included in the governing rules and new requirements for these amendments. The term operator changed to transit workers were applicable to align with the 49 CFR amendment language. Safety performance measures are used to create specific performance targets to ensure that the PTAS objectives and goals are being met and safety outcomes are continually improved. The safety performance target are found on page 10 through 12 of the PTAS report provided in your package and will be further explained in the next few slides. These elements are directly aligned with LBT's strategic priority, improve safety and service quality. The SPT, the specific target, consists of 12 categories. There were originally 8 categories, and this year it was expanded by 4 more categories. It addresses the total number of fatalities on a system, and then fatality rates per 100,000 vehicle revenue miles, the total number of injuries and injury rate per 100,000 vehicle revenue miles, the total number of safety events, and the safety events per 100,000 vehicle miles. You can see there's a pattern here, and this is done so that the 100,000 mile per event is normalized in targets across transit agencies, so it can be compared from agency to agency. For FY 2024, there were 4 targets added. Total number of major security events and major security events per 100,000 vehicle miles, and total number of minor security events and minor security events per 100,000 miles. As displayed before you is just an explanation of what is a major security event and what is a minor security event. Major security event include things like bomb threat, suspicious packages, arson, hijacking, cyber security events, and personal events like major assault, robbery, probably rape or motor vehicle theft, suicide or attempted suicide on the system, and personal security events. So you can see there is an outline of what major events, and then minor events are considered things like non-physical assault. This might be something to do with fear evasion or confrontation that may include fair payment. Before you is a report of 2 LBT reports in 2 modes. Before you is the report on the bus, and you can see that the system reliability here is classified as the mean distance between failure on our vehicles, and that at the bottom of this, close to the bottom, shows that we have a goal set in our organization about 6,000, and we're averaging about 4,900, 4,000 in the 4,000 range of vehicle failure rate. As you can look here to calculate the 100,000 miles, as an example, injury rate in 2023, we had 1 occurrence. We multiply that by the 100,000 vehicle revenue miles and divided by the total amount of miles that LBT provided, which was 6,359,244. And that gave us an incident rate that is compared against other transit agency, and our rate is 0.02. This has the same impact, but it reports on the paratransit system. I will not go through all of these, but the process is exactly the same for our paratransit system. And then for the safety performance target, this is where we started new. So you can see that the first year, 2023, is reported. The total number of major events, we had 1, and that turns into a security event of 100,000 miles of 0.016. And the total number of minor events, which I said had to do with like fair evasion or fair confrontation, we had 5 of those and that were reportable for a rate of 0.08 in FY 2023. So today, I am before you to request that the board adopt the Long Beach Transit 2024 updated Public Transit Agency Safety Plan, or PTAS, to comply with the federal final rule in accordance with federal regulation 49 CFR Part 673 and the bipartisan infrastructure law. That completed my report. I can answer any question you may have.
Do I, thank you, Ken. Do I hear a motion to approve the recommendation?
Yes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Perfect. All right, are there any public comment? All right, is there any further discussion from the board?
I just have a comment and a question, Vice Chair. Ken, thank you for the report. I was and I appreciate the errors and everything was fixed. I do have one question that remains, though, is page 10 of 25 under the safety performance targets. Is there an explanation why the target number, the total number of injuries went from 4 to 1? I mean, why they went up from 2021 from 1 to 4, and then why they went down from 2022 to 2023. Yeah, third one down. Okay, thank you.
Are there any additional comments from the board? All right, seeing none, we'll call for a vote.
Chair Sun, Vice Chair Mejia,
Aye.
Secretary Chojran Yorve,
Aye.
Director Angeles,
Aye.
Director Kemp, Director Rawlings,
Aye.
Director Thrash and Took. Director Sutton, Kemp, and Thrash and Took have been excused.
Great, thank you. The motion carries the recommendation to adopt the Long Beach Transit 2024 Public Transportation Agency Safety Plan with newly set targets to comply with the FDA final rule in accordance with 49 Code of Federal Regulations, CFR Part 673 is approved. And moving on, now we'll go with Jennifer Maxwell, who will be presenting agenda item 12.
Hello. Good afternoon, Vice Chair Mejia, members of the board, Mr. McDonald, and to all assembled here today. I am Jennifer Maxwell, Manager of Capital Programs. I'm here before you today to request the board to adopt a resolution authorizing the President and CEO to file the annual application for local transportation funds and state transit assistance funds under the Transportation Development Act, Article 4, with the Los Angeles County Metropolitan Transportation Authority, or Metro. Article 4 of the Transportation Development Act, also known as TDA, includes STA and Senate Bill 1 SB1 STA for fiscal year 2025. The funds are apportioned to each county based on the amount of tax collected. And in LA County, it is distributed based on the established formula allocation procedure. In FY 2025, LBT is eligible to receive $47.38 million, which includes $35.05 million in TDA Article 4 funds. TDA funds are derived from a quarter-cent statewide retail sales tax. We are also allocated $7.01 million in state transit assistance funds. STA funds are derived from a statewide sales tax on diesel fuel. And finally, $5.32 million in Senate Bill 1 STA funds. SB1 STA funds are derived from an excise tax on gasoline. TDA, STA, and SB1 STA funding will support $32 million in daily operations and $15 million in capital needs. These funds were included in LBT's fiscal year 2025 budget. Annually, LBT is required to comply with various certifications and assurances to be eligible to receive these funds. The certification and assurances includes filing financial and operating reports with the State Controller's Office, also certification with the California Highway Patrol. We must also meet STA efficiency standards, meet reduced transit fare ID requirements, and finally, submission of a certified fiscal and compliance audit. The certified fiscal and compliance audit is included in LBT's annual single audit report and presented to the board each year in January. Today, staff is requesting the board of directors to adopt a resolution authorizing the president and CEO to file funding applications for fiscal year 2025 subsidies under Article 4 of the Transportation Development Act and the State Transit Assistant Programs in the amount of $47.38 million. This concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Great. Do I hear a motion to approve the recommendation?
So moved.
Second.
Perfect. Are there any public comment? All right, is there any discussion from the board? Okay. All right, we'll call for a vote.
Chair Sutton, Vice Chair Mejia,
Aye.
Secretary Treasurer Yorve,
Aye.
Director Angeles,
Aye.
Director Kemp, Director Rawlings,
Aye.
Director Thrashentuk, Director Sutton, Kemp, and Thrashentuk have been excused.
Great, thank you. The motion carries the recommendation to adopt the resolution authorizing President and CEO file the annual application for local transportation funds and state funds assistance funds under the Transportation Development Act with the Los Angeles County Metropolitan Transportation Authority is approved. And then we'll go on with Terry Kuhn, who will present agenda item 13.
Good afternoon or good evening now. Vice Chair Mejia, members of the board, Mr. McDonald, and to all who are assembled here today. My name is Terry Kuhn, Manager of Finance in the Finance and Budget Department. I'm before you today to request the board to authorize the President and CEO to extend Long Beach Transit's participation in year 4 of the Los Angeles Metropolitan Transportation Authority Regional Go Pass program by approving the CEO to extend participation in the Go Pass program and allowing eligible students who attend participating K through 12 and community college school districts to continue to ride LBT through the Go Pass program until June 30th, 2025. So what is the Go Pass program? In August of 2020, Los Angeles Metropolitan Transportation Authority, or LA Metro, announced the pursuit of a Fairless Systems initiative, now officially referred to as the Go Pass. This discussion involved Metro as well as other municipal and local transit systems, including Long Beach Transit, to discuss the feasibility and impact of a countywide implementation. Metro's board of directors voted to approve an 18-month, 2-phased pilot program at its September 2021 board of directors. Long Beach Transit began participating in the program in November 2021 when the LBT board of directors voted to opt into the Go Pass program. Under the initial phase of the pilot, eligible students attending participating school districts have had subsidized transportation access to unlimited rides on transit agencies who sign on to the pilot program. There are currently 17 transit agencies participating in the program, including Long Beach Transit, LA Metro Bus and Rail, Foothill Transit, Santa Monica Big Blue Bus, Gardena Transit, Torrance Transit, Norwalk Transit, and others. In the Go Pass program, students ride with the use of a physical transit access pass or TAP card, or a virtual TAP card with an eligibility code that is distributed only through schools and must be registered online. This process has reduced previous barriers to transit access, which required lengthy applications and long waiting periods. The initial 18-month pilot provided eligible students transit access for the period beginning October 1, 2021 through June 30th, 2023. This governing body approved LBT's participation into year 3 of the pilot program in June of 2023, which covers the period July 1, 2023 and ends June 30th, 2024. And this past April, the LA Metro Board of Directors voted in favor of making the Go Pass Fairless pilot program permanent effective July 1, 2024. But as a reminder, staff is presenting a request for a 1-year extension of Long Beach Transit's participation as we continue to understand the impact of the program on the organization. In making the Go Pass program permanent last April, Metro staff is required to report back annually on the status and progress of the program, including but not limited to identifying additional funding sources to help cover the costs of the program, including public-private partnerships, identifying barriers to cost sharing that prevents educational institutions from participating in the program, and other areas of focus. Currently, school districts and transit agencies participating in the Go Pass program share the cost of the pilot program. Initially, to participate, K through 12 districts were required to contribute $3 per student per academic year. However, during Metro's Year 3 extension approval process, the cost was increased to $7 per student per academic year for K through 12 districts. Community college districts have been required to contribute $7 per student per academic year since the inception of the program. The revenue collected from the districts is then distributed amongst the various transit agencies on a prorated basis using ridership as the metric, and a $2 tap card fee is deducted for each card distributed to the school district. It should be noted that K through 12 districts are eligible for up to 60% reimbursement for their transportation costs thanks to Assembly Bill 181 for the Home to School Transportation Funding Program. This table represents an example of the annual cost breakdown for a K through 12 district and a typical community college district using Long Beach Unified School District, or LBUSD, and Long Beach City College District, or LBCC, as examples. For illustrative purposes, let's look at the cost breakdown for LBUSD. These numbers are estimates only. As previously mentioned, the cost per student per year under the pilot program is $7 per student. So let's say for academic year 2023-2024, the total LBUSD population was 65,000 students, which at a rate of $7 per student equates to $455,000 due to LA Metro by the district. After fees for tap cards provided to the district to distribute to students are deducted, LBT would receive 90% or $346,500 of the remaining revenue based on its share of LBUSD's overall ridership for the year. The ridership share percentage of 90% means that out of all the total boardings for LBUSD students, 90% of those rides were taken on LBT's buses. And thus LBT is entitled to 90% of the revenue generated from LBUSD's cost-sharing participation. The same methodology will be used to calculate the cost to LBCC as well as all other districts and LBT's revenue share. Having already mentioned LBUSD and LBCC, this slide provides a snapshot of the districts and schools within LBT service area who currently participate in the Go Pass program. Including the districts and schools listed on this slide, a total of 113 K through 12 public school districts, charter school networks, and independent charter and private schools are participating in the Go Pass program, along with one adult or vocational district and 9 community college districts for a grand total of 123 total districts countywide. Students from all 123 districts participating in the Go Pass program have access to use LBT service. Currently, LBT serves over 60 of the 123 different community college districts and K through 12 districts across the region so far in year 3, which equates to approximately 720 schools countywide. Additionally, within LBT service area, which primarily comprises of LBUSD and LBCC, over 29,000 tap cards are currently registered, which represents about 29% of the district's combined student population of about 100,000 students. Now, I will discuss the Go Pass program's performance over the past 2 years. As previously mentioned, LBT joined the Go Pass program with the approval of this governing body at the November 2021 board meeting. This first chart shows all Go Pass student boardings for year 2 and year 3 to date, with year 2 represented by the goldenrod color and year 3 represented by the ocean blue color. As a side note, this slide includes LBT data only. Since the inception of the Go Pass program and LBT's participation therein, there have been approximately 4.9 million boardings on LBT buses. Year 2 yielded over 2 million boardings, and year 3 has over 2.5 million boardings to date, which is already a 25% increase year over year. Now we will break out the boardings by student type. Of the 2.5 million boardings and counting for year 3, K through 12 boardings make up 79% of total Go Pass ridership, while community college boardings make up 21% of the total Go Pass ridership. Now, this chart shows all Go Pass K through 12 student boardings for year 2 and year 3 to date. As you can see, ridership has increased year over year almost across the board each month, resulting in a 17% increase year over year to date. The next chart shows all Go Pass community college student boardings for year 2 and year 3 to date. Again, as you can see, ridership has increased year over year almost across the board each month, resulting in a 65% increase year over year to date. Now that we've looked at ridership trends, let's take a look at how our revenue has fared in comparison. This chart before you tracks the revenue and ridership trends over the life of the program thus far. The red line represents Go Pass revenue earned, and the ocean blue line represents the base fare revenue LBT would have earned if LBT collected the full fare for each ride. All things being equal, you can see a noticeable gap between the blue and red lines representing the loss of revenue LBT has incurred since the result or as a result of the current revenue structure of the program. Said another way, the significant increase in ridership for the Go Pass program has outpaced the revenue generated from the Go Pass program. This table shows the ridership and revenue earned for each year of the pilot thus far, plus the base fare revenue if LBT collected the full base fare for each ride, and the associated revenue loss for each year of the program given the same ridership patterns. The numbers for year 3 are projected through June 30th, 2024. To summarize this slide, over the first 3 years of the Go Pass program, LBT has experienced a revenue loss of about $5.2 million. This next graphic further demonstrates how the increase in ridership affects the average cash fare for the program. Average cash fare takes the total revenue earned divided by total ridership. The previous slide showed the reality of ridership increasing at a faster pace than revenue, and this slide further confirms that reality based on the sharp decline in the average cash fare for each year. As a reminder, LBT's current base fare is $1.25. To put this in perspective, LBT is currently losing out on $1.10 per ride as a result of this program. These next two charts compare Go Pass to LBT's overall ridership, which is on the left, and LBT's overall fixed route passenger fares revenue, which is on the right. To help understand these charts, I'll explain what each abbreviation represents for both charts. So REG in the goldenrod color represents regular fare rider class. Red in the red color represents reduced fare rider classes. STU represents students passes not associated with the Go Pass program. And then the green for other is all other passes or rider classes not previously distinguished elsewhere on the chart. What the comparison of these two charts note is the reality that Go Pass makes up 22% of the ridership while accounting for only 4% of the fixed route passenger fare revenues. Now we'll examine the cost of the program, the LBT. So during the initial introduction of the Fareless Systems Initiative by LA Metro, now known as Go Pass, staff conducted an agency-wide analysis of anticipated costs of the program. To clarify, this initial analysis looked at the anticipated increase in expenses if LBT went completely fareless beyond the current Go Pass population, which is comprised again of K through 12 and community college students only. The anticipated annual cost to execute a completely fairless system was estimated to add more than $14 million in annual personnel expenses, which is primarily due to additional operators to accommodate increase in added service, additional mechanics to keep the fleet reliable, additional utility workers to maintain the cleanliness of the buses, and additional custodians to maintain the cleanliness of the facility, and also administrative staff, such as supervisors and training staff, to meet the increased demand. In addition to personnel costs, an additional $6 million in expenses were anticipated for added security to ensure safety, an increase in risk management programs such as workers' comp and liability insurance, and contract maintenance expenses for the additional demand to the fleet. Additional fleet requirements were also anticipated. An estimated $128 million would be required over a 5-year period to procure additional buses and facilities expansion in addition to what is already in progress, as well as bus stop improvements to accommodate the increase in ridership and usage. Again, this initial study conducted by staff explored a system-wide fairless system, not just for students. However, since the implementation of GoPass, which addresses only the student segment of the Fairless Systems Initiative, LBT has added additional school dedicated trippers or extra buses to accommodate the additional ridership. Comparing this latest service change and the service level from before the GoPass implementation, 17 additional daily trippers, again, or additional buses, were added to regular school days, and 9 additional trippers were added for minimum school. With approximately 100 student days in an academic year, this equates to approximately $500,000 in added costs each fiscal year. Finally, this last chart provides a snapshot of a typical school week and demonstrates the demand put on the system during the peak morning hours between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. and peak afternoon hours between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m., where additional buses or trippers are added to meet the demand. The demand during these peak hours puts a heavy strain on the organization's resources for very limited times during the day. But despite the challenges and uncertainty surrounding future funding of the program, the GoPass program has made a positive societal impact in the lives of students across the region and in the city of Long Beach and LBT service area in particular. Therefore, I'm before you to request the board to authorize the president and CEO to extend Long Beach Transit's participation in year 4 of the Los Angeles Metropolitan Transportation Authority's Regional GoPass program by approving the CEO to extend participation in the GoPass program and allowing eligible students who attend participating K through 12 and community college school districts to continue to ride LBT through the GoPass program till June 30th, 2025. This concludes my presentation, and I'm happy to answer any questions at this time.
Great, thank you, Terry. Do I hear a motion to approve the recommendation?
So moved.
Second.
Right, are there any public comments? All right, discussion of the board.
I just have a question. So based on the numbers that you're looking at, Metro is extending it indefinitely. Is that my understanding? So that's always going to be a permanent part of their system, but we're only looking at it till 2025. Is that what I'm understanding from your presentation?
That is true. I want to answer that on behalf of Terry because he's presenting that was guidance. What we're looking at is what happens in the 2025. We already included and the plan for how we pay for it forward. So I probably will come back with the board, maybe with a different recommendation next year. We're not sure. We just wanted to make sure.
That's quite a gap, with respect to what we're losing by participating in the program.
So we will come back with where we are and what exactly we're recommending to it. That's already included in the 25 budget, but I'm concerned further than that.
I mean, the program, obviously, I'm wholeheartedly supportive of. It seems like a very excellent program with respect to allowing those who are in community colleges. In fact, my question was going to be, well, why, because of Cal State Long Beach being where Cal State Long Beach is, it wouldn't be extended, but then I understood it when you showed me the numbers of how much the program would cost us in terms of what we're losing. So, but Metro is up for making it a permanent part of their program.
So the board voted to make it a permanent program. That's something we have to decide about funding. Where is the funding?
And where's their funding coming from?
I'm not quite sure. What I would say, when we started the discussion years ago about the program, the idea was to go with congestion pricing, and the congestion pricing would be for free fare. While we are implementing the program, but we have not come up with a funding mechanism to fund the program, fully fund the program.
I'm just concerned that if Metro obviously is one of the 17, agencies that's saying that it's permanent, then we peel off, then our constituency group is gonna look at us and basically say, well, how are they able to do it and you guys aren't?
They're bigger. They have much more sources of where they can take money from than we can. But I think that's what we want to look at to come back to the board. So I did not want to say no. I think it's a very worthwhile program, as Terry concluded, from a societal perspective, from the schools. You can see the value of the program. The challenge, not the value, is the ability to support the program.
Is there any earmarked federal or state funds that we can go after to have it this sustainable program?
None that is alive right now that I know that is out there that we can say, well, let's go after this to fund the program. There are a lot of actions that are going on. On one of the pages, he talked about what Metro recommended that the staff does with us. It's not just Metro. I want to say that we say Metro, but this is all of us have agreed that this is a good program. The concern continues, like you mentioned, is yes, we're seeing an increase in ridership and we're seeing the use of the program, but we're not seeing how we will continue to pay for it long. So that's our biggest challenge facing us. Hence, I brought it 1 year, and we'll come back next year and say, here's where we are. What do we do to be able to support the program? I don't have that answer right now. But I do know that we can support it in the year I'm recommending here right now to do it. So yes, we can.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any additional?
All right, I'm not gonna fight you on it all. Thank you, Ken, and also thank you, Terry. This is definitely a report I think we've all been wanting to see for some time. It's nice to see the data. We're definitely data nerds up here. Yeah, it's one of those things that we've talked about extensively, that we need to find a way to do it, but there's obviously not a clear path long term to keep doing it. And call me a serial optimist, but I almost view it as a microcosm of the larger budget problem that we're experiencing. And so in some ways, it being a challenge is also an opportunity to take a look at some creative solutions. If we can figure it out with this at a smaller scale, perhaps we can implement some similar creative ideas, big picture, when we're thinking, 4, 5, 6 years down the road. My only ask for the executive team is that we don't talk about this. We don't wait until next year to talk about this. When we say next year, that it's, 4, 6, 8 months from now, not 12 months from now when we're running out of time, to make sure we don't repeat the budget process that we had this time around. Let's just be as proactive as possible for the sake of the students and the community and our own employees and our bottom line.
I guarantee that that's exactly what I intend.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't get an answer in the short time here right now, so we're moving forward. We will study this. We have a peer assessment study that's going to go on about this. That would be part of what do we do? Where do we go with this? How do we pay for it? That is a concern to all of us who are involved in the agency, but not only our agency, but all the other. So there are a lot of discussion that I'm on, but we don't see the funding. We'll try our best to see what we together to get there. But it wouldn't be 1 month. It'd be months before you hear where we are.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Ken. Thank you. And yes, I agree with Director Rawlings. If we can start on this sooner than later, that would be fantastic. Thank you for the presentation and thank you for the additional charts and graphs. They were not included in the packet and it made a lot more sense. Provided a lot more information as to our position. I am supportive of the staff's recommendation. It's no surprise that I'm a fan of GoPass. I think something that was left out of your presentation was that Metro reported in April of 2025 that 87% of GoPass users are low income. And when I think of GoPass, I think of the low income families and I think of the local students who are benefiting from this program. While I appreciate that we take a huge hit in supporting this program, and as has been discussed, there is a huge benefit as well. It clearly continues to demonstrate LBT's commitment to connecting students to education and educational opportunities and providing access without and lowering the, or actually without any cost hindrances for them. So my understanding from Metro's board meeting in April is that student attendance is up. It creates a positive attitude with students and their families, and it increases the safety for our students. I do hope that staff can continue to have conversations with Ken on how to move forward and see what we can do in 2025. But thank you very much. And again, I am supportive of the recommendation.
Great, thank you. I do have a few comments. I know you mentioned in one of your PowerPoints that we've increased, that we added additional buses. Was that based, I'm guessing based on how many students were there? Was that also communicated through like the schools that they mentioned to Long Beach Transit, like, hey, we need more buses, or how did that go about?
If you can go back to the chart about the hours right here. So if you look at the 7 a.m. and 8 a.m., you see at 6 a.m. we have about 1,200 boardings in just 1 hour, and that 2 hours you go from 1,000 almost 6,000. So start with the school is the fact that the demand is in the rush hour, and that's when everybody going to work or people getting into jobs, you know, hospitals, whatever it is. You can see the morning and you can see the afternoon peaks. So the only way we can address that is to add buses in, special buses to address those peaks. But look how fast the peak dropped right after so what happened? What do we do with the buses or the people? We have to take them from other places, put them here. So parts of the system suffer. The idea is if we had this right, we would be able to cover that and then be able to still keep the job going if we had the money to. So that's why the resources coming is that you can see what is happening there at the peaks. That's a good problem to have. The thing is, how do we pay for it? Every transit agency would love to see if they can keep that peak all day long, but how do you pay for that? So our biggest challenge right now.
And I did see also that our ridership through the GoPass is up, like from the previous. I think that's a huge win. I'm also very supportive of this. And just to clarify, I know I heard Kelsey Long Beach. Kelsey Long Beach is not a part of the GoPass. Is that correct?
No, it's only community college school district.
Okay. But yeah, I'm fully in support. I think this is a great program. I think, like the rest of my colleagues have mentioned, we need to start thinking creatively, and I hope that Metro also is working on thinking creatively, working with partners. I do know that our Congress members do have funding available, and I did see that the City of Commerce, who has their own transit agency, got funding. So maybe that's something that you can look into at the federal. But yeah, this is a great program. So thank you so much for being so detailed, Terry. It was a great presentation. I'm still up. And then we'll call for a vote.
Chair Sun, Vice Chair Mejia,
Aye.
Secretary Treasurer Yorbe,
Aye.
Director Angeles,
Aye.
Director Kemp, Director Rawlings,
Aye.
Director Thrashentuk, Director Sutton, Kemp, and Thrashentuk have been excused.
So I just want to thank the board, and I think staff has gone through a lot of work, and you can see from the presentation that we made this pretty concise. There's a huge undertaking that's going on here and where we are. And for Terry, who stood up and wanted to do it and get up here and present, I just want to thank you all for the support and we have the same concern. This program is a very important program to Long Beach because we don't have a school bus system. A lot of other places have school bus systems, so I would not want to see it go away. I just want to know how do we kind of continue to look at how do we do it. So I think every member of our staff supports this, thinks it's great for Long Beach. Challenges we have to continue to look at one, and we will continue to do that. We've gone with it for 4 years. How can we go further is what we're looking. So thank you all very much.
Absolutely. And the motion carries a recommendation to authorize the president and CEO to extend the Long Beach Transit participation in year 4 of Los Angeles Metropolitan Transportation Authority Regional Go Pass program. The one approving the CEO to extend participation in the Go Pass program, allowing eligible students to attend K through 12 community college school district to continue to ride LBT through the Go Pass program until June 30th, 2025 is approved. And now we're moving into public comment. Is there any public comment? All right. Now, are there any board requests? All right, seeing none. We'll move to adjourning this meeting. Do I hear a motion to approve the adjournment of this meeting?
So moved.
All right, call for a vote.
Chair Sutton, Vice Chair Mejia, Secretary Treasurer Yorve,
Aye.
Director Angeles,
Aye.
Director Kemp, Director Rawlings,
Aye.
Director Thrashentuk, Directors Sutton, Kemp, and Thrashentuk have been excused.
Great. The motion carries. The meeting is now adjourned. The next regular meeting will be held on July 25th, 2024. Thank you, everyone.